Hello and welcome to another episode of Alfsu. Today we're going to talk about the Internet of Things and why it's happening now. And to help me explain that to you all, I have my good friend Hema Mohan with me. Welcome to the zoo, Hema.
Hi Alf, good to be back again.
It's always great to have you here. Now, we've heard a lot about the Internet of Things. I think people understand exactly what that is, so let's not worry about that. But my question is, why is it taking off now? This is not necessarily anything new. Sensors and robots and the need for having a fridge telling me when I'm out of milk has been there since the 90s. But now there's been an explosion. Is there a cultural reason for it or a technical reason? Why is it happening today?
That's a very good question, and I think I would ask you why not now, right? Because we're so ready for it right now. If you look at the whole timeline itself, first there was, I look at it basically as a triangle. One vertex is basically the whole burst of, consumerization. People were introduced to smartphones, tablets, apps became popular. I even remember some of the Google Hangouts around how many devices do people own, right? One person basically owns multiple devices, starting from like a smartphone to a tablet to a fancy notebook, right? So apps and consumerization of consumerization basically has become extremely popular. The other vertex of the triangle is collaboration. Anybody and everybody will tweet, will write a comment on Facebook. People are becoming more and more aware of all the things out there, and they can comment about it. They can actually make things viral immediately because of access to these devices and the collaboration part of it. And the third part is to counter the effect, to actually, I would say, damage control all the implosion of data. There is customer experience management that's coming into place. So there's collaboration, there's consumerization, and there's customer experience management. If you put all this together, I see the center as Internet of Things. We haven't been more ready, and I think this is the right time. That's why I don't think 2 years ago it would have been that popular, but I think the reason CES picked on this, or people have, even of course wearable devices, right? 2 years ago there were random one or two people using pedometers, but now everyone's onto it. So I feel, why not now?
Do you wear any wearable technology, by the way?
Yes, just the job one up, but then not as many as I'd wish to wear. I know people who have a GPS watch. I know people who have a posture corrector. I know people who track their heart rate. I know who track their skin temperature. So I wish I'd, hook onto a few more devices and get access to a little more data about myself. But right now, just the number of steps in my sleep.
Are you connecting anything in your home? Do you have that Nest thing, or do you have a smart refrigerator or something like that? Or are you looking at getting something like that?
Not yet, but we are looking at getting something. There are some interesting startups here in the Bay Area. We missed the first wave of getting home automation kit from them. So we're waiting for them to open up the next round where, you bring in, stuff like you actually, not just the temperature part of it, you also integrate it with the cameras, you integrate it with your home security. You do a multiple cool, interesting things, but they basically open up the protocols, and it's just a green field for you to for your imagination.
Why would you do that? And maybe that comes from, I live alone up in the mountains. Well, my family does. We barely have neighbors. The last thing I would like to do is have refrigerators and cameras and sensors to tell us everything that's happening up here. What's the attraction to Internet of Things? What is it that you hope to gain from creating a smart home?
I would say, first of all, quality of life. At the risk of losing a better word to define it, I think it's very interesting how everything is preempting what you need or what you have, right? We were recently looking at the CES, news reports for 2014, where they said home automation and wearable devices are going to get really popular in 2014. And when we were talking about what exactly this means to us, we usually land up waking up on Sunday mornings realizing that we've run out of milk. And that's when we thought, how about a smart fridge which would notice based on the RFID of the milk carton that we're running out of milk. And if Bezos's idea of drones delivering stuff even before you place an order is actually conceptualized into reality, imagine a drone flying in through our balcony and delivering that milk that you didn't realize the previous day you're going to be running out of. So
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of room for interesting things to happen in this space.
No, and I can see the convenience of that, except here in this area, they probably shoot that drone down before I make it to my house. But and actually, I have dry cleaning waiting, and I don't think I'm gonna have much time to pick it up today. So I have to have my wife go and do it for me, which is it's inconvenient to her. And so I have to have things automated and deliver automatically would be wonderful, and without me having to worry about it. Because my biggest fear was that I'm going to forget about it today or tomorrow, and then I end up with no suit that we're going to Pink in Vegas next
Or
week.
you just wear a smart watch which will buzz every time you come to the ground floor to remind you need to do laundry.
Now that's what we're talking about. How does this translate into commercial use? Again, we've seen, especially mining companies, utility companies, energy companies are really pushing this because they working in a large area. They have a lot of dumb pieces or equipment. They now can become smart. Is there any examples where you think that implementing the Internet of Things, or it sounds so strange to say, but to connect intelligent pieces of robots will help us be better workers, will help us provide better service, and so on?
A couple of things. One, I really liked what Cisco calls it. They call it the Internet of Everything, right? So that I thought was a very interesting terminology. What this can extend onto is like, it's over and beyond anyone's imagination. And second, it's also going to help extensively with more than what people can do to improve the way they do or improve efficiency or productivity. I would say this is going to open a new space for the green space. People trying to bring in solar cells and people trying to avoid traffic jams too. I think there is going to be a whole what do you say movement around the green space itself. And I also was looking at what Google has acquired in this space, and if you notice, they're trying to they, of course, Nest was their recent acquisition and the most talked about one, but there is also Waze, which tries to tell you where there is a traffic jam and how traffic signals can be controlled with all these devices through sensors and transmitters. So what organizations can basically do is you can see a lot of electricity being wasted every single day. So if there are people not working in certain part of the building, you don't need to turn lights on in that space. Next, you have also access to all these vending machines, and you can get that data as to what employees need. But talking about the commercial space, where how organizations will perform better is one, preempting what services to offer even before. Our business is all about being proactive and not reactive. So understanding what service will become popular, making that available even before a customer asks for it, is going to take customer experience to the next level.
Yeah. Hoping we see some innovation, especially on the humanitarian side. For example, when the temperature drops, we could have drones dropping blankets in areas we know are of a high population of indigenous people. And the same thing, you can put this on a world scale. We know where there are children in need of medicine in war zones. We just can't get there. Maybe we can automate, if that's the right word, humanitarian aspects too. We can take this from our personal life into commercial life for the funding, if nothing else, and then really extend it on a global level. Well, it was great having you in the zoo, Hema. Always wonderful to hear your voice and hear your insight. I learned a lot every time you're around, so appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me over again.
Thank you. And for all of you out there, take care. Be safe. Bye-bye.